Well, today here on Idaho Today, we are celebrating Farm to Fork, and we're creating some delicious fall dishes with Nikki from Easy Peasy Kitchen, Angie the Pie Lady, and also this is Lance from Gem Orchards, who is going to be talking about the amazing apples that we've been using here in our recipe. So, ladies, I know you're still going to be plating some dishes because this is what food is all about, right, Lance?
Exactly.
It brings people together. That's what the holiday season is all about, is coming together and enjoying delicious meals. Let's talk about local apples, though, because you're with Gem Orchards. How long have you been growing apples?
So I've actually been an orchardist since I was 14 years old.
No kidding.
But in Emmett, I've only been doing it for 8 years. So I like to tell people 38 years or at least 10.
Okay.
That way they don't know how old I am.
That's cute.
Right,
I like
right.
that. Yes, very nice. But you know a thing or two about apples.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Apples, we grow 54 different varieties of fruit. Apples is our last ones.
Okay.
And we have 3 different varieties. We have our Gypsy Red, our Golden Delicious, and we have our Red Delicious coming on. Beautiful apples, and the fall is such a great time to be out in the orchard.
Okay, and apples aren't created equal. Well, we've been talking about that a little bit with some of our recipes. So let's talk about the differences in the types of apples, because you named 3 that you grow, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Golden Delicious apples are like the universal apple. They pollinate all the other apples. They're sweet. They can make juice. They can make pies. You can eat them fresh off of the trees. And then other apples have specific designs. The Granny Smith and our Gypsy Red is a baking apple. So its flavor really comes out when you cook. You get those beautiful sauces. You get applesauce, and you can blend apples together.
Yes.
And it starts to make them taste even better.
Are you smelling the pork chop?
I
Because I am
loving
right
it.
now.
I'm loving it.
My
I'm
goodness.
trying not to
Nikki's over here
drool.
cutting this. Seriously, I just got the biggest waft of this delicious combination over here. Okay, and if you missed it at the top of the show, we got apples, obviously, stuffed here in this pork chop with blue cheese. You got some garlic in there and fresh sage. Oh, so good. All right, you were talking, though, about, sorry, I got totally distracted by the scent of the deliciousness here.
It smells so good.
It doesn't it,
Oh
Angie?
my
I know, and Angie's got this apple dumpling over here. She's plating that with some homemade caramel that you made, right, Angie?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, for sure.
Of course, it's homemade. Everything Angie does is homemade,
Of course.
right?
Of
Okay,
course.
and then she's going to be serving that with some ice cream. We're all going to be diving here in a moment, but first I want to talk about some of the other delicious things that you brought here today with you, Lance.
Yeah, absolutely. What to do with all those apples, right?
Yeah.
So one of the things we do is we make this wonderful apple cider. This is actually a blend of 2 of our apples. It's called our Freedom Cider. It's just kind of a fun name, but it brings that tanginess and those high tannins of the Gypsy Red and the sweetness of the Golden Delicious, blends them together. We actually take these little loose leaf bags, and if you smell that, it's got a little bit of cloves, a little bit of nutmeg. You put that in a crock pot, and 2 hours from there, you get this beautiful seasoned product.
I would just put this in a crock pot just to get the smell in my house. This smells amazing.
It's great. And
Did you guys smell this?
No.
Oh, pass that. That smells fantastic.
Yes, please.
Right? And
That's all it takes for a whole.
Yeah, so
jar of cider?
absolutely. So
amazing?
Wow.
it basically takes this great apple cider that you make fresh, and it just adds a little bit more to it.
I love that.
And then if you really want to do something fun, we actually sell an apple cider syrup. This is a new product for us. We just basically took some extra apple cider, we cooked it 1-to-1 with some sugar, threw in some cinnamon, and it's like apple pie in a cup. I mean, it
love
is
that.
delicious,
That's awesome.
whether you put it on milkshakes.
Do we get to try some of it?
Okay, absolutely. I'll get you a little started, just a little bit. Now this is sweet, you know. You got to make sure that you don't get too much sugar, but give that a try.
You're giving this to the right people because these chefs are going to find really creative ways to incorporate this for the fall, right?
Searing
Mom, look, I'm taking communion now.
That's totally
Good for
what
you.
it feels like. Here, I'm going to cheers you all.
There you go,
Cute
cheers.
little baby
Do we
cups.
cheers with our
There we
little
go.
cans?
my kids go
There you go. It's delicious. I'm telling you a little bit of that with your with a little bit of your vanilla ice cream.
I'm going to put a little
It just makes so much for that bottle. There we go.
I know, right? Seriously.
You're
Okay.
gonna drizzle that
So,
over that.
Annie's going to finish plating the apple dumpling. I think we all need to dive in, right? That's the whole point of why we're doing this show right now.
Yes.
Is to inspire all of you to come together for the holidays, celebrate the cornucopia that we have here in our gorgeous state of Idaho.
Yes.
And create some delicious dishes and just really enjoy the company and the conversation. Oh, Nikki's leaning in to get a little taste there of some of that cider there.
Coming at you. Coming
Don't
at
leave
you.
her hanging. Ange, tell us a little bit more about what you're doing here with your apple dumpling.
Well, I'm just going to bring this right here.
Okay.
This is actually a homemade salted caramel that we'll go with. And I'm going to, look, we're getting crazy now.
Okay. Yes,
Okay.
we are. All right. This
sorry,
looks
Nikki.
amazing. Okay, and then Nikki, tell us about your pork chop.
Yeah, we just
I'm
dig
gonna hand
in
this
at
to
this
Lance.
point.
Yeah.
I mean,
Here you go, Lance.
Oh, thank
get a bite.
Love it.
Taste some of the fruits of your
Sorry,
labor, my
this.
friend.
Yeah. Did you?
Oh,
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, so Nikki, again, we
Yes.
grilled this out on the
We
patio.
grilled it out on the patio, and we used his apples, and then we just added some fresh sage
cow.
with some onions, a little bit of garlic.
so good.
I was wondering if we could thicken this up or kind of like reduction it down
Absolutely.
and put this over the top
Absolutely.
too.
I'm going to try it with a little bit
Yes.
of your syrup
Yeah.
right there.
3 minutes in the microwave, we find that you put it back in the fridge, it thickens up just like a maple syrup rather than a thinner syrup, and you can use it for a whole other
Brilliant.
group of things.
All right, we got to dive into Angie's apple dumpling, but you know, Lance, you brought this gorgeous fruit basket over
Yes.
here.
That's so good.
You know what? I think we should be feeling generous because it's, you know, holiday time. Should we give
Yeah.
this away?
Absolutely. We
Let's do
should.
that. All
All right,
right.
so you've got a little hat.
It's got a
There you
little
go.
hat. You got some fresh apples, so you too can create these delicious dishes in your own home. We're going to give away this fruit basket when we come back right after the break. Let's dive in.